Hello, I'm Abby from Sutton Schoolswork. Welcome to our online Christmas assemblies. Each week we're going to think about a Bible character, their role in the Christmas story, and ask you a few questions. We'll share with you what Christians believe, and finally, think about what we can learn from each character's story. Are you sitting comfortably? Then let's begin.
Hi, I'm Nick. This is our last Christmas assembly. We've heard from several characters in the Christmas story over the last 5 weeks. How many can you remember? Time for a game. We've jumbled up the names of the Christmas story characters. Can you work out what they should say? Mary was the young girl chosen by God to be Jesus' mother. The innkeeper offered his stable where Jesus was born. The angels brought good news of great joy. The shepherds were visited first by the angel with good news of Jesus' birth. The wise men travelled on a long journey to meet the newborn king. Today's story comes from 2 books in the New Testament, Matthew and Luke, and tells the story of the birth of Jesus. Listen out for each of the characters.
A long time ago, God sent an angel called Gabriel to the town of Nazareth in Israel. A young woman lived there called Mary, and the angel had a very important message for her. She was going to have a baby, and he was to be called Jesus, because he was the Son of God. Mary was very excited and told the angel, "Let it happen just as God said." Mary was going to be married to a man called Joseph. She loved him very much. When he found out about the baby, he didn't understand and was confused. He decided he was not going to marry Mary. That night, Joseph had a dream. He saw an angel who told him it was okay to marry Mary. The baby she was having was God's son. He would be called Jesus and save people from their sins, just as God promised long ago to the prophet Isaiah. When Joseph woke up, he did as the angel had told him and married Mary. They both loved God and each other very much and were really happy about having God's special baby son. Before Mary had baby Jesus, a ruler called Augustus wanted to count all the people in his kingdom. Mary and Joseph had to be counted as well. They needed to travel to a town called Bethlehem. They set off early one morning because the town was a long way from Nazareth. It took Mary and Joseph quite a few days to reach Bethlehem. By the time they arrived, both of them were very tired. As they entered Bethlehem, they saw many people who had all come to be counted. Everyone was looking for a place to stay. Mary and Joseph wondered where they would find a place to rest before the baby was born. Every room in Bethlehem was full of visitors, and Mary and Joseph could not find anywhere to stay. Not even the inn had a place. The innkeeper said there was no room for them. But then, just as they were getting very worried, the innkeeper told them they could shelter in the place by the inn where the animals lived. That night baby Jesus was born, and Mary wrapped him in warm cloths and put him in a manger. Mary and Joseph cried with happiness because this baby was God's gift of love to them and to the world. Nearby on a hill, another exciting thing was happening. An angel was telling a group of shepherds that the Saviour Jesus Christ was born in Bethlehem, and that they should go and see him. After the angel finished speaking, the sky was filled with hundreds of beautiful angels, all praising God. As soon as the angels left, the shepherds went down into Bethlehem and found Mary and Joseph and Jesus. They were so happy to see this special baby who was God's son. When they had seen him, they went to tell everyone the good news that Jesus was born. A long, long way from Bethlehem, some wise men were following a beautiful bright star in the sky. They knew a very special king was going to be born soon, and the star was going to lead them to him. The wise men followed the star day and night until at last it came to the place where Mary, Joseph, and Jesus lived. Then they gave Jesus gifts of gold, frankincense, and myrrh, and they worshipped him. For to us a child is born, to us a son is given, and the government will be on his shoulders. And he will be called Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6.
Christians believe that God sent his son, Jesus, to show us what he is like. Jesus came to earth to share God's love. He healed the sick, fed the hungry, and comforted the broken-hearted. But Jesus' most important purpose was to die on the cross, to take the punishment we deserved so that we could be friends with God.
Question time. Who was the baby king born in the stable? Can you remember any of Jesus' other names given in the Bible verse at the end of the story? Why is the birth of Jesus so important for Christians?
What can we learn from Jesus' story? Jesus is God's gift for everyone. At Christmas, we remember that God loved his world, so he sent his son Jesus to be born on earth. This Christmas, remember that God sent Jesus for everyone, including you.
We hope you enjoyed our assembly today. This is our last online Christmas assembly. From all of us at Sutton Schoolswork, we wish you a wonderful Christmas and look forward to seeing some of you in the new year.
Merry Christmas!